Do you want to see in the dark like a superhero? TNVC.com is your source for the finest night vision devices and accessories to make you the bump in the night.
Hey there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I just got back from a vacation to Mexico, and during my vacation, I couldn't help but wonder what Mexican gun stores were like. I happened to ask a local about finding one, and he informed me that there's just one gun store in the entire country, and it's all the way up in Mexico City.
Excuse me, what?
Thinking the entire country's gun supply that isn't imported by the ATF are all sold in just one store? Well, I couldn't help but think if it might be a Fudd gun store, and if it was, how could I tell if I did visit it? So sit back, get out your NRA card, and let's start the show. All right, folks, let's paint a picture here. You're enjoying a relaxing drive on your day off after just relocating to a new area, and you see a sign on the storefront that reads Gun Store. You check your phone, and it looks like you've got some time to kill and some hidden funds that the wife doesn't know about, so you hit the blinker and pull on in. You park in the mostly empty parking lot and enter the store and are almost hostilely greeted by an older gentleman sitting behind the counter all by himself. This is your first red flag.
Ah, boy, here we go.
You can tell this man is ornery in his old age. What age is that, you might ask? Well, it's probably from the Mesozoic age because he's dustier than anything else in the store, including that one box of 7mm French long that fell behind the counter 35 years ago. As he stands up, you hear a series of loud pops and go ducking down quickly, thinking a gun has started to go off, but you come to realize it's just the owner's hips and knees. As you recover your composure, he starts to point to the massive wall of fishing lures and asks if you need help finding anything.
Hi there. Is there a project you're working on? I know more than you.
That's when you start to realize his firearms inventory numbers are further from 10 and closer to the number of Kyle Rittenhouse convictions. Give praise. Unless, of course, you count that Ruger Mark I that he has marked for the price of $950. He knows what he's got, and it's all there in the Ziploc bag that it came in from the last owner that took it apart for the first time. And before you autists start typing in the comment section that pic that I had up there was a Mark II and not a Mark I know, but that's the pick I found, so deal with it, nerds. Nerd! Upon further inspection of the guns for sale that don't require a third hand and an engineering degree to assemble, you notice a very nice looking Milsurp M1 carbine on the wall. As soon as you see this thing, you can hear Clint Smith in your head talking about the virtues and effectiveness of the platform, and imagine yourself walking your property at night with this thing slung over your shoulder. You notice that there's no tag on it and inquire about the price from the crypt keeper behind the counter. He responds with, "Not for sale until I get the right offer." You go back to your imagination of the greatness this rifle will bring to your household, and you moronically throw out a very reasonable offer that is well above your gun and ammo budget for the next 6 months. And all old buddy does is just scoff at you and tell you, "I've turned down twice that."
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
With your dreams shattered like this guy's hip if he falls down, you go back to perusing the other few guns, and that's when you notice it. He is armed as expected, but it's a single action 45 long Colt revolver with a barrel longer than ATF wait times for a suppressor. The hammer is back, but it's blocked by the leather strap on his shoulder holster. You stare in astonishment because you can't tell if this thing was handmade by the owner in his youth when he personally discovered how to make leather and changed the world forever. With more cracks in it than Harlem in the 80s, you're surprised that this rig is still holding the weight of this man's hand cannon. I don't know why that made me laugh, but I thought that was a funny joke. You continue to try to look at all the guns in the case, but are having a little bit of trouble trying to see through all the NRA stickers this guy has put on the case out of sheer boredom. The fishing vest draped over the back of his chair is also covered in various NRA patches that are more faded than his youth. In a poorly calculated attempt at humor, you make a joke about the NRA being useless, and that's when it happens.
Oh my sweet Jesus.
You are hit with a flood of generic old school NRA cliches about them fighting for our rights and them being the only program to effectively teach gun safety, and how the FPC and GOA are too small to get anything done. I mean, this man is so out of touch that the most modern gun available for purchase in his shop is a brand new 1911. Nope. No, you heard me correctly. Not a 1911 A1, an original factory new 1911. Price tag on it is actually accurate for what it is, honestly. Almost your yearly mortgage payments. Now he sees you eyeballing it and he says those fancy new automatics aren't reliable like his good old Colt revolver, and it looks like by talking crap on the 1911 for jamming, he actually said something you might find halfway accurate. All right, at this point, you've completely given up on the idea of buying an actual firearm from this location, but you could still use some ammo. With your attention shifting to the ammunition section, you really aren't seeing anything that is immediately recognizable. Actually, the harder you look, the more confusing the ammunition gets, to the point where you think you might be having a stroke. Almost every box of ammunition is some type of caliber you've only ever heard of because it was featured in a forgotten weapons video that you fell asleep to. In fact, the most modern ammunition in the entire store are those 3 boxes of 303 British that are falling apart worse than this old guy's memory. Asking about 9mm, he responds by asking if you meant 9mm Kurtz. Confused by what this even is, you pull out your phone, you start to Google it, and you realize it's just the old way of saying 380.
Well, duh.
At this point, you've given up on buying any physical item from the store. Not all hope is completely lost though, as this old timer probably knows a thing or two about guns, and you ask him if he does any gunsmithing or repairs. For the first time since you've set foot in his store, a little spark of excitement is seen in his eyes as he responds affirmatively and motions you towards the workbench.
It's a trap!
As your eyes shift in that direction, you see a claw hammer, some files, a butane torch, and of course, a Dremel. In the middle of these tools, you see what happens to be the Guinness World Record's biggest bottle of hops number 9 that's ever existed. This thing makes those 3-liter bottles of store brand sodas look like a kid's drink. After the initial shock wears off, you inquire about what services he offers for repairs, and he proceeds to tell you that the only thing that most guns need is to be lubed and have the feed ramp polished with the Dremel. Upon hearing this, you wince as he mentions the dremeling of feed ramps, and you decide it's time to leave before anything bad happens to your everyday carry. By the time you reach the door to leave, this guy's memory has erased you from existence like you were on the losing side of a bush war, so it looks like you're not going to get that half hour back. You head home defeated, but hey, at least you didn't buy anything that's going to get you in trouble with the missus when you get home. All right, that's all we got for you today, folks. Let us know in the comments what other fun things you see in gun stores, and we might make a part 2 of this video. Don't forget to join us next time when we still don't know what the heck we're doing. Adios, amigos.